Hi guys, I'm Asif Ali and in this video I created LOD using Scratchpad. So you can see if I'm going far, the blue particle killing, dying, and that these particles changing color. So these are red and then they become green, and these blue particles just dying depending on the distance from particle and camera. So let's start this tutorial. So let's create a Niagara. And I'll just remove these things from here, and we have just spare maybe 100, and let's say you have GPU turned on because we are about to work on camera query, so it's better to use GPU. So LOD you have already there. I have already tutorial on that, so you need to just go here, and in the scalability you need to use this self, and then you can use these LODs option here, like you can work on the spawn count or anything else. And I have already tutorial. You can search scalability in my videos, you will find that tutorial. But because we are working on Scratchpad, let's create our own Scratchpad. Through that we can delete particles, or we can make them smaller or change the color. Anything we can do depending on the distance from camera, but for now I will just delete the particle distance on camera depending on that. So let's say you have the 500 particles, and if I drag it in the viewport, 500 are there. If I going back, still 500. If I coming here, it is 500. I want when I have a distance, this particle should be less or completely gone depending on the distance. So I want them to kill on the spawn. Okay, so here I will create a Scratchpad, and here we need to take the camera query, and in the camera query here you can use the camera properties, and you have lots of, so we have camera position in the world, so we can check if the position of camera and the position of particle has distance. So what you will do, you will subtract from particle position to camera position, then take the length, and depending on that length, if this length is greater than a certain value that you want, like if you want to make that float, and just connect it here, and you can rename it as range. And if these particles are the far from that range, what I should do, delete. So I will create a if node and take the boolean, and then here also boolean. So if this is true, let's turn on my boolean. If this is false, turn off my boolean, and I will set here a boolean also. Although you can also make the float and use 1 and 0. 1 and 0 is also like boolean, so it's better to use directly boolean, so you can use both. So if particle far, okay, and I'll make that particle and connect it here. Hit apply, nothing will happen, but you need to take the kill. And now in the Scratchpad, if you'll check what it writes this if particle far, and that is boolean, and this kill particle is boolean, so you can just connect that here. And depending on the range that we have here, let's use 500. Or if I now move back, you can see completely gone, but here these are coming, but not much, and then here it is coming. So depending on that, you can make it 1000 also. So now see, like here we have some particles, and then when you come closer, the particle rate will be the same. And when you will take here the float, you can change the color also. You can do lots of things. So like quickly, if you turn this off, kill option, you have boolean, and I take the color, or you can drag it here and use that initial color also. You can use direct color and then use Lerp, and you have red and you have green, and in alpha this should be Boolean, so let's make it Boolean and then connect if particle is far. See, if I'm closer to the particle, they are red. If I'm going back, they are turning green and green and green. So this is how it works. But there is an issue, and that issue is because we using Boolean, it's just taking the one value. If this is exactly less than that value, it's red, and exactly if slightly it's higher than that, it's completely become green. So it's not working like on distance properly, like what I want. Let me. So this is your camera. Um, and here is your particles. So what I want, when particles are here, they should be red, and when these are here, these should be green. But when they are in between, they should be like slightly from green, it should be like slightly yellowish, then slightly like this, then it become red. So there will be a transition between changing the color. But right now what is happening, and this is the distance 0 and this is like distance 100, and we have like a condition of like 50 that is in between. So what is happening here, from 0 to 50 these are red, and from 50 above anything it's become green. So this is happening because I'm using Boolean. I want to use this thing. So how you can do that? So you need to open the Scratchpad. So we can use different thing here. We can use like distance, normalize distance. And let me mention here something. What I am doing in Scratchpad, in my all Scratchpad tutorial series, lots of things can be done without Scratchpad. Like I'm using this normalized distance range, and I have a lots of tutorial about that, and we have used that without Scratchpad. So lots of things you can do, just putting the math here outside. You can just put the math here, normalize and distance, it will work the same. But because we are learning Scratchpad, I will use that nodes here. Okay, so it needs two positions. First position should be my particle position, second should be my camera position. Okay, then it needs a distance, so we will use that range. And then it has this normalized range that will be like 0 to 1. And we have this, let's delete this. Let's create a float, and this is my range, and let's make it particle and connect it here and just hit apply. And now in the particles, instead of Boolean, you can use that range, and here we have distance maybe like 500. Save this, and now you will see how they are changing the color, red and slightly then yellowish, and then they becoming green. So now the thing that we wanted is happening, and we can change the distance, like we can make it like 2000. See, so till here they are slightly oranges, then the yellow, and then we are going far, they becoming more green, and then actually green. Okay, so same thing you can use for a scale also. Like if you have the particle size, let me use a uniform, and then Lerp, and the space, this range, copy and paste it here. And then red means we have close particle close. When they are closer, let's use 5. And when you are going far, let's use the particle rate scale, maybe 0.1. Hit save, and see they are bigger. When I'm going far, they are getting smaller. Okay, So this is how you can use that. You can do all lots of other thing here, but we are using this only. So that's it. I hope you liked. Thank you for watching it. Bye bye. Take care.